As Gene Autry once said, a gun that grants power like any other object with power is neither good nor evil, but reliant on the one who holds it. The purpose of this speech is to show why more gun control will not help. 74% of criminals say they will avoid homes with people in them because of fear of getting shot. This study was done by Armed Criminal in America, a survey of incarcerated felons, 1997. More gun control will not fix the issue because the guns are not the problem, it's the people possessing them. It is your fundamental right to bear arms. It is protected by the Second Amendment. The Second Amendment says a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Gun control does not deter crime, it would hurt the economy. 80 million Americans own a gun of some kind. 223 million guns are in the USA, as stated by Firearm Fact Card 2011. It is your fundamental right protected by the Second Amendment by the U.S. Constitution to bear arms. 949,000 people a year defend themselves using a firearm. Owning a gun can be a house owner's first line of defense if somebody were to break into their home. The NRA promotes education and gun safety in order to make sure the people owning the guns are well trained and prepared to use a gun. Gun laws do not deter crime. Chicago is one of the stricter cities in the U.S. when it comes to guns, yet it has one of the highest rates of gun-related crimes in the U.S. according to SafeWise.com. Criminals will get guns no matter what happens to gun laws. Drugs are illegal, and they still run rampant in the streets across the U.S. While gun control is for honest, law-abiding citizens that actually go through the law in order to obtain a firearm, removing the instrument of crimes does not prevent the crimes. A man once robbed a bank with what they thought was a gun, but turned out to be a permanent marker he was holding in his hand, not a gun. This is just one of many times that it goes to show that crime will still happen even without the instrument. If taking away guns will not prevent crime, then why do it when it will leave the people who own guns defenseless? It would hurt the economy to have stricter gun control. Gun manufacturers and businesses who sell guns would be deeply affected. They would be out of business. Prohibition of guns will increase the illegal sales of guns, making criminals richer. For example, when the prohibition of alcohol happened, it created organized crime and the people part of organized crime mobsters. And then when the prohibition was lifted, there was a lot of rich mobsters with tons of money, and they no longer had an income, so they turned to other things like robbing banks. Some people in recent years have been concerned about the increase of internet's gun sales, and that some people who shouldn't have guns are getting them, but the internet gun sales have been misrepresented by many people. It is not like buying clothes or books. You can go only through an FFL representative, Federal Firearms License. NRA argues that assault weapons are certain semi-auto guns designated in an expired ban that was originally signed by Bill Clinton in 1994 have never been used in more than a small percentage of firearm-related violent crimes. In conclusion, these points show that stricter gun control does not produce an outcome of less crime. Gun control will just hurt ordinary citizens and businesses and benefit the criminals because when guns are not being legally sold, they are being illegally sold through possible organized crime. Would you feel safe when in a situation where you need to defend yourself and the criminals are armed and the citizens are not? Like if there was a bank being held up and you were inside and all the criminals had guns and no one inside had one? Gun control is not all that it seems and should be seriously thought about before making your decision and opinion about it. Even though people just see things like happening around the country, like school shootings and things like that, It's not because of the guns, it's because of the people holding them. Stricter gun control laws will not help. It will hurt the economy and be bad for businesses across the U.S. and will seriously affect citizens that are in trouble and need a gun to protect themselves. And then, if you think that guns are like not taken seriously enough, you need to really rethink it, because guns are not all that dangerous if they're in the right hands.